Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and it's time to look at my reading plans for July, my July TBR. Second half of the year already, it's flown by, and I have an interesting mix of books that I'd like to get to in July. I'll be taking part in Jane Austen July, as I do every year, with one of Jane Austen's best-loved novels, Sense and Sensibility. Possibly also tackling Mansfield Park. I'm not so sure about that. Mansfield Park is the group read for Jane Austen July, and it's also a Jane Austen I need to read because I'd like to rank the Jane Austen books. In addition to Jane Austen, I've got two e-arcs. One is a Victorian murder mystery, Murder on Devil's Ridge by Irina Shapiro, which comes out the 28th of July. This is the 8th in the Tate & Bell murder mysteries. And I also have a Danish noir thriller, Prejudice, which is the second in the Nellie Buckbeck series of police procedurals. And thanks to a poll on my community page, and thanks to you, it looks like I'll also be diving into a YA fantasy called The Elemental Thief. Looking at the books together, I realise they all explore different ideas, but there is this idea of justice and society running through all of them. Let me know in the comments what you're planning to read in July. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. July on BookTube is synonymous with Jane Austen July. I think this is the 9th year it's been going. Last year I reread Pride and Prejudice. Jane Austen July is an event hosted by Katie of Books and Things, Marissa of Blatantly Bookish, and Claudia at Spinster's Library. And there's lots of activities. I'll link to Katie's announcement video in the show notes below. I'll be reading Sense and Sensibility. I haven't read this one. Let me know in the comments what's your favourite Jane Austen. I also might try Mansfield Park as well because that is the group read, but I don't know if I can read two Jane Austens at the same time without getting the plots hopelessly confused. Moving on, half a century from the Regency period to the Victorian period, I have an e-arc of Murder on Devil's Ridge by Irina Shapiro. This is the 8th in the Tate & Bell series, Victorian murder mystery. Gemma Tate, who is now Gemma Bell because she's married Inspector Sebastian Bell of Scotland Yard, are visiting Sebastian's family in Suffolk, and they come across a murder, as would happen like Hercule Poirot. Whenever he goes away, he comes across a murder. This is the murder of a young girl, and they combine their talents, and I'm sure they will solve the mystery. I've read the previous 7 books in the Tate & Bell series, and they've all been 5-star reads for me. I really like Irina Shapiro when she writes Victorian murder mysteries. The second e-arc I have is also from a favourite author. This is Inga Wolf, who writes Danish noir. The story is Predator. This is the second in the Detective Inspector Nellie Buckbeck series. These are set in central Jutland. I don't know much about this. I enjoyed the first one in the series, the Moorland murders. I like Nordic noir, and Inga Wolf is one of my favourite writers in this genre. And the fourth book is a book not really chosen by me, but chosen by you if you voted. I put up a poll on my community tab, and of 4 books I was interested in reading, to let you choose which one I put on my July TBR. And currently the leader is Elemental Thief by Rachel Morgan. This is about a 17-year-old girl in a near future who steals from the wealthy to give to the poor, and in this near future there's elemental magic, although they're trying to suppress this elemental magic. It's YA fantasy. Let's see if it wins. That's the one I'll read. Yeah, but the poll is still open. If you want to inflict a different book on me, feel free. And finally, a carryover is the The Voyage of the Beagle by Charles Darwin. I'm halfway through now. I'm on page 228, 452 pages. It's about his voyage around the world in the Beagle, a voyage that took 5 years in the 1830s. And from his observations of the flora and fauna, particularly in South America, he started to evolve his theory on the origin of the species. Let me know what you're reading in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.